Welcome to Trincomalee. I'm up here in the northeast of Sri Lanka now in Tamil territory. So Trincomalee is one of the largest natural harbours in the world. Centuries from the ancient times, it's been coveted by empires and kingdoms. From the 17th century onwards, when the European powers arrived, in a mad scramble for control of this port here, this harbour, this bay in the northeast of the island of Ceylon, Sri Lanka would change hands between the Dutch, the Portuguese, the French and the British. And then in World War II, the Japanese would attack it too. Now, this city has a fascinating history, not just from the ancient times to the colonial times to the Second World War, but because this is the historic heartland of the Tamil communities who form a large minority of the population of Sri Lanka. This then was swept up in the civil war and the conflicts that ravaged Sri Lanka following their independence from the British in 1948. In this video, I'm going to take a look around and dig into the fascinating history and see what it's like here today.
We've been staying in Sigiriya in central Sri Lanka. Many itineraries don't stray much further north than this, which is very surprising given not just the natural beauty, the forests and wild elephants, but the ancient history that's found here in the northeast. Halfway to Trincomalee, we pulled over to stretch our legs at Colombo water tank, an ancient but epic work of engineering constructed sometime in the 7th century AD. So we are on the road. To Trincomalee, and we just pulled over here because this is the Colombo water tank, and this entire lake is absolutely huge. As you can see behind me, is completely man-made. This is one of the ancient water systems, one of the ancient water tanks built hundreds of years ago to supply central Sri Lanka with fresh water, and it's still in use today. It's pretty amazing, the history here. Yeah, incredible. And then Trincomalee is just up this road, about 45 minutes. So we should be there pretty soon. Soon enough, we were entering Trincomalee's ramshackle suburbs. For Sri Lanka's Tamil population, Trincomalee is both spiritually and historically important. The Tamils are an ethno-linguistic group native to southern India and the north and east of Sri Lanka. With a recorded history spanning over 2,000 years, Tamil culture is among the oldest surviving in South Asia. The Tamils have always been a minority in Sri Lanka, however, and following independence from the British, Sri Lanka's Tamil communities became engulfed in a long and bloody civil war with the Sinhalese majority. The Tamils fought, but ultimately failed to establish an independent state in the north and east of the island, and during the civil war, Trincomalee became a militarized zone, a flashpoint in the island's ethnic conflict. The civil war left the region fractured, physically and politically, and even today, old colonial forts, including our first stop, Fort Frederick, remain heavily militarized. Within the fort, however, is one of the Tamil community's most revered Hindu shrines. We're now inside Fort Frederick. As this was originally built by the Dutch, who took over Trincomalee in the 17th century. Because this is one of the biggest natural harbours in the world, and certainly in the Indian Ocean. It was coveted by every single European colonial power from then on. So I mean, after the Dutch, you had the Portuguese, you had the French, you had the British, and they all kind of changed hands. The history was really convoluted, but they all utilised this big fortress that we're kind of in the middle of. It's still largely actually a military base for the Sri Lankan army as well, which I imagine they were using during the Tamil Tiger insurgency as well. The tuk-tuk drivers using this fort as a racetrack as well.
And this is the temple up here?
Yeah, and some point at the entrance we have to remove our shoes.
Oh, okay.
And we have to remove our hats as a mark of respect.
Was the temple here before the fort?
Before the fort, yeah, a temple was here. But from ancient time, the Trincomalee fort was there.
Okay,
because
so
it's part of the Silk Road.
Okay, so yeah, so it was built by, well, Sri Lankans or Tamils? Or?
Sri Lankans, Tamils,
Yeah.
yes.
Because this is like a big Tamil city, right? Or it was
Yes, it's a mix of.
a mix, yeah.
Mix, predominantly, I would say it is within the balance. The Muslims, the Hindus, and then the Sinhalese.
So like an equal kind of...
Equal, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're just heading into the Hindu temple, which is within Fort Frederick. You have to take your shoes off, wear long trousers as a mark of respect. kind of just leave them here, I think. They're still there. I think the Dutch who built the fort originally built the fort around it. Because Danushka was telling me that there's been a harbour here since the ancient times, basically, and because a large population that live here are Tamil. The Tamils are also Hindu, predominantly anyway. There's also Muslims and Christians and Buddhists that live in the city as well. So the name of this place is the Koniswaram Temple of Trincomalee, or the Covil, as people seem to be calling it. So yeah, there's possibly been some sort of shrine or temple here since the 1500 BC. So this is an ancient place of worship we're talking about, and then it was slowly built up over the centuries. But then when the Dutch arrived in the 17th century, they pretty much destroyed the place. A religious attack on the Hindus. And then it wasn't until the 20th century, really, after Sri Lanka got independence, that they kind of rebuilt this place. And we'll take a look around now and see what's been done to it, how much of the ancient stuff is there or how much is new. Watch out for biting monkeys. So we don't run into any of those fellas. So they've had to do a lot of reconstruction over the years, of course, given all the attacks on the place. A lot of the shrines and relics were actually thrown into the sea and were unearthed. This was found during an excavation in 2013. They believe it dates back to the 11th century and it's sort of been restored, which is nice. Oh wow, beautiful. So you can't film in the main temple, but you can film in this little sort of side temple, which comes around here. And it just sort of curves around the side of the cliff, like literally on the edge of the cliff. So we're like at the end of a long peninsula where the fort was built. And then I think the Dutch, when they came in here and took over the place, they just hurled a load of the shrines into the sea around us. And they were later sort of dredged up from the ocean and put back together. Right, so the temple was our first stop in Trincomalee, so we're going to go see if we can get a view of the walls that the Dutch and then the Portuguese and the French and the British all built and fortified, and to give you a sense of why they needed this place.
Then it was developed by the Dutch and British, developed it and maintained it as a fort. And it holds significant because it is very near to the natural harbour of Trincomalee, and it holds significant naval value to the Silk Route as well as in all war affairs. So people want, especially the British, want to hold it for this fort, and in the Second World War, Japanese tried to burn down this place. And there are oil tanks built by the British, 106 of them. At the moment, 7 is destroyed, 99 tanks are still there. And Japanese managed to hit one of those oil tanks on the Second World War airstrike.
Oh, right. Yeah. So was it attacked a lot during the Second World War?
No, there was 2 attempts.
2 attempts.
2 attempts, to the best of my knowledge.
So we're at the strategic sort of peninsula that kind of juts out into the Indian Ocean, and you can see one of the bays behind us. The actual harbour's on the other side of this, so hopefully we'll get a chance to see that before it gets dark, so you can see the sun setting. Perhaps not. But anyway, if we don't get the chance to go there, then the reason this place was so coveted by the European powers was because of the harbour, because of the access to safe anchorages on the eastern side of Sri Lanka or Ceylon. And that meant it was the sort of the gateway to India and the gateway to the Indian Ocean and probably to the rest of Asia as well. So once the British had kind of taken this from the Dutch and then the Portuguese and the French, or however it went, the mad scramble for Ceylon, they turned this into pretty much one of the biggest naval bases in the eastern side of the British Empire anyway, apart from Singapore, which came along a bit later. Which is why this place was then attacked during World War II by the Japanese, who tried to destroy the harbour to stop the British kind of having a naval presence in the Pacific during the Second World War. And then, of course, once Singapore had fallen to the Japanese, this then became even more important, which is why the Japanese wanted to take it, but they didn't. And then the Japanese were pushed back out of India on the mainland in the Burmese campaign, and then the Kohima and Impala. And the tide of war was turned. So if this place had fallen to the Japanese, it may have been a different story in the Second World War. Now, for some reason, Trincomalee is home to all of these little spotted roe deer. These guys are just hanging out outside the temple. And yeah, I'm not sure why, but they're all over town. There's deer parks as well. All right, so we just walked downhill from the place where we took the bus to, the top of the fortress. And we're now like in the middle of what was the old fortress. And you can see all the old kind of army barracks, and the walls are over there as well. So we're going to go and see if we can go. Trying to get a view of the walls, but oh, you can't really see them. Yeah, beautiful. Is there a place where you can see the walls, like of the fortress? Is it best from the? Ah, down there, the harbour. Yeah. Yeah, within the walls. There's still an active army base as well. Infantry regiment. Yeah, there's all these little, I presume were built for soldiers, which are kind of lying empty now. A whole load of cannons. A load of tuk-tuks coming by it. This was the original gate built by the Dutch. So behind me, this thing we just walked through, that's the original Dutch gate built when they took over Trincomalee. And that dates back to 1676. It's largely original. And then you can see the fortress walls kind of extending all the way across to the city, which is down there now. And then up this way, it heads towards the temple where we were at. But yeah, we're a bit rushed now to see more, but this is a beautiful time to be here because look at that sunset. So this is another one of the bays, and the harbour, the infamous harbour, the famous harbour, the coveted harbour is over this piece of land. We're going to try and head over to the harbour now, the famous harbour. So we're going to hop in a tuk-tuk. And how much this should cost? Claire's going to haggle. Where are we going?
Just to a Seaside Hotel.
Seaside Hotel.
That's close to the harbour.
All right.
So.
Let's see what we can find there, eh? Nice to be back in a tuk-tuk, eh?
Yeah.
It's been a while. This is one of Trincomalee's main beaches, I think. I was out enjoying the sunset. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Right, we made it.
So we did it. We made it to Trincomalee's famously deep natural harbour, one of the largest natural harbours in the world. And here it is. So we're on like the city side of the harbour, but in the far distance there, a little bit far maybe the camera can see, but on the other side of the bay, basically the other side of the harbour, is kind of the industrial side. And I think further down this way there's some more, but that would have been the area that the Japanese tried to attack during the Second World War. They tried to knock out the oil tanks, I was told by Danushka, to basically try and cripple the war effort for the Brits and the British Empire. They attacked it at least twice, maybe more. But it continued, it survived, and yeah, the Japanese ended up being defeated. Flying fish in the water. It's a really peaceful kind of harbour-side, beach-side view. There's just, you can see there's a little beach down here. As I told you about the World War II history, obviously it wasn't always necessarily the peaceful place it is today. For a long time, after independence, there was a lot of tension between the Tamils and the Sinhalese after independence, and in the 80s that kind of spawned after many violent pogroms, not just here in Trincomalee, but in Colombo as well, and other parts of Sri Lanka, where thousands of Tamils were killed by the Sinhalese mobs. This became one of the kind of epicenters of violence during the Civil War, and a lot of the Tamils were actually forced out of their homes into refugee camps in the north, in places like Jaffna. And overseas as well, a lot came to the UK or went to Australia or the US as refugees. And it's a really, really sad story. I suppose it's nice to see how the city has kind of rebuilt itself. But then the Tamils are a really interesting part of Sri Lankan history, really. They've been here since the 2nd century BC, so they've been here a very long time. They're not the original inhabitants. The original inhabitants are called the Veda, or the Veda, Vedda, and there's not many left. There's maybe perhaps a few hundred of these kind of indigenous people who live in one particular area, which is not around here. And then after that came the sort of Sinhalese and the Tamils, who kind of became two very culturally similar groups, but they speak different languages and largely practice different religions. And it was those kind of, under the British rule, the kind of, I suppose some of those tensions were stoked. Some of the Tamils got sort of priority for jobs and stuff under the administration, and then under independence they became a minority within the majority Sinhalese community. And unfortunately for them, democracy didn't really work because they couldn't obviously outvote the Sinhalese, who then voted to change the constitution and sort of effectively pressure the Tamils to make Sinhalese the only language they could speak and stuff like that. And that obviously led to violence and a vicious civil war. Yeah, the sun has almost set now, so we're going to try and find a tuk-tuk and get back to our fancy hotel where the rest of the journalists are staying. So we kind of broke off from the group to do a bit of filming.
So we're going to try and order a tuk-tuk on Uber. I'm not too sure if it's going to work. I'm just loading my Uber out now.
Because we paid 500 rupees from the fort to here, and it was about a 10-minute journey.
Yeah.
We didn't haggle because we were like, well, that's £1.20. And it felt bad giving him any less.
Yeah, definitely.
So it'll be interesting to see what the prices are like.
Yeah. It's only getting cars up. The cars aren't expensive.
How much is the car?
1,200.
1,200. That's not bad actually.
But I did download another ride-hailing app.
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Pick Me, yeah. Pick Me Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay, interesting. In 1,200, that's like £3.
Yeah.
I say not bad, but from a Western perspective, it's obviously cheap. But it kind of shows just, unfortunately, the Sri Lankans have gone through a lot. Not just the conflicts, but they had a lot of economic trouble in the last couple of years. There were big protests and riots and attempted coups, etc. in Colombo when there were gasoline shortages, and yeah, the whole place went to pot, unfortunately, for the local people who were still really struggling. And there was massive hyperinflation, I think. So what's cheap for us actually sort of shows the economic struggle of the local Sri Lankans, unfortunately. All right, tuk-tuk number 2. What's your name?
Nishanda.
Sorry?
Nishanda.
Mishanda.
Oh yes.
Oh, nice to meet you, Mishanda.
Nishanda.
I'm Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
Richard.
And Claire.
Claire.
Madam?
My name is Claire.
Claire.
Thambi oru konjam illaya. Nama friends vittu varna.
How many? All of them?
More?
More. Two.
More?
Two.
2 more.
Yes.
Another?
Thank you. Bike ulla vittu irunnu
Hey.
Hey.
Doing an oil delivery for these guys.
Okay. Your workshop.
That's your workshop?
Cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm not an auto driver.
You're not a... Oh, so you work in the shop?
My workshop.
Oh.
Oh, cool. Oh, so you're not a tuk-tuk driver?
Are you from Trincomalee?
Oh yes, I'm
Yeah.
Trincomalee. That's my workshop.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're a mechanic?
Oh yes, I am mechanic. Motorbike mechanic.
Oh, nice,
motorbike.
nice.
Nice.
And tuk-tuks.
Huh?
Where are you from?
Oh, we're from England.
England.
Yeah.
I like cricket.
UK.
Team.
Yeah? Oh, cricket. Oh.
My favorite game. How is it Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it's
We love
nice.
it, yeah.
We like it.
Yeah.
Everyone is very friendly.
Yeah.
And very helpful as well.
We love the food.
Yeah. Oh, the food is amazing. How is life in Trincomalee? What's it like living in Trincomalee?
Trincomalee.
Yeah.
Trincomalee. Hot water. You like hot water?
Like what? Oh, like hot.
Konaswaram temple.
Yeah, we saw the temple. Yeah.
Marble beach have this way.
Ah, okay.
Marble beach.
So, nice beaches.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Oh, your house. Ah, nice.
This way.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Seaside.
You live by the beach?
Ah, nice.
Nice. Yeah, nice guy. Only 600 rupees for a 20-minute drive. So we definitely got ripped off the first time. But what can you do? It's not much. Anyway, super friendly tuk-tuk driver, and we are back at the hotel. So the Trincomalee experience will continue in the morning. All right, good morning from Trincomalee. So the hotel we're staying at, one of the cinnamon resorts, which is just north of the actual sort of harbour of Trincomalee. There's actually, we just found out there's a British or Commonwealth war cemetery dating from 1939 to 45. So you can see here, this is the Second World War, Trincomalee War Cemetery. And you can see all the headstones and the graves over there. And yeah, surprisingly, this is literally just around the corner from our sort of luxury hotel. So it kind of just shows the kind of two sides of that Trincomalee has, kind of the darker history that this place has, and then the modern tourism industry that seems to be fairly booming. So we're going to go see if we can find someone who can let us in and have a look around, because obviously being from the UK, this kind of history speaks quite loudly to us. After the British took Trincomalee in around 1795, they held on to it until 1948, when Sri Lanka gained independence from the British Empire. Now, during the Second World War, when all of these graves date back to, this was not just a major sort of naval supply hub and depot, it was also actually attacked by the Japanese. The Japanese launched an attempted raid, or perhaps even an invasion, similar to the attack on Pearl Harbour. It was planned out in a very similar way in 1942, I believe, after the Pearl Harbour attack. And the British, I believe, knew it was coming or saw it coming and managed to fend off the Japanese attacks. But during the sort of naval battles in the Pacific and in the Indian Ocean against the Japanese, obviously a lot of British and Commonwealth servicemen and women would have lost their lives. Hi, we're just having a look around.
Okay.
We're from UK, so.
UK.
Yeah.
There are 228 English soldiers.
Oh, really?
228 Sri Lankan 20, Indian 48,
Yeah.
New Zealand 5, 7 Holland, 4 Italian, 4 Canadian, 2 French, 2
Oh, wow.
Australian, 1
Yeah.
Burmese, 1 Pakistan, 1 East African.
Oh, wow, so a whole Commonwealth of
Commonwealth.
nations. Yeah.
There are 1942, April 9 came to Japanese Batticaloa and Trincomalee attack. This time there are 15 ships sunk, UK ship, HMS Hermes, HMS Woolwich. There are many.
Oh, that was in 1942?
1942.
Yeah, the Japanese attacked
Japanese
them.
came.
Right. So a lot of these graves are from
There are
that time.
365 graves, 4 unknown soldiers. There
Yeah.
are youngest 18, older one 63.
Oldest one was 63. And the youngest was 16?
18.
18?
18.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Wow. And you work for the Commonwealth War
Yeah,
Graves? Oh,
I
okay.
am working by the Sri Lankan government botanical garden.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth War gives some money funded by this is a maintain.
Right, okay, to look after it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've done a good job. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
really nice. Yeah.
There are some malaria, not war, some die malaria, fever. Some is a wartime death. 1942, April 9th, April 10th, April 1942. Some is a war period time wounded. Some hospital after, right? Some later. 57,
Right,
1961.
Oh,
Last
okay.
one 1961 buried.
1961. Oh, wow. And what happened in 1945? It seems there's a lot from...
Is a 1945. Is a wounded soldiers.
Oh,
Some
I see.
hospital. There are big hospital ship here this time.
Oh, in Trincomalee.
Trincomalee.
Oh, I
Big
see. So
hospital
they would have
ship.
been fighting
Big
in
hospital.
the Pacific or somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I am Pradeep.
Philip.
Pradeep.
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 Nice to
Cool.
meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Thank
Pradeep.
you.
So yeah, we were just looking around, and Pedeep, he said his name was, he actually works for the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, who are basically an organisation funded by the UK government and presumably the Commonwealth, so countries like Australia, Canada, etc., who look after war graves all around the world, including this one, of course, here in Trincomalee. And I've seen them in many places. You can visit them in Malaysia, for example, Singapore, in the UK, of course. And yeah, and I've seen other ones in Malta and basically anywhere where British and Commonwealth forces fought and where people died, really. I think in the UK we forget a lot of the time that a lot of the people that fought for the British Empire were, you know, they were locals to places like Sri Lanka or Ceylon. It wasn't just British and Australians who were fighting, it was this chap here, for example, DS Tevavasan, Ceylon Light Infantry, died 23rd of July 1945, aged 29. Lord Uswami from the Indian Pioneer Corps, aged 20. Ceylon Engineers, Royal Artillery, the Hindu soldier of an Indian army. Yeah, it's interesting, you can kind of trace the history of not just Trincomalee during the Second World War, but the wider sort of theatre of war during that time, from 1942, when it all kind of really went downhill for the British, to 1945 when the Japanese were pushed back again. It's an interesting piece of, I suppose, colonial history that's still here, being looked after by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission and by our man, Pradeep. So yeah, Trincomalee is proving to be a really interesting city. Obviously, it's been shaped by the conflicts around it, not just the Second World War, but then the later Sri Lankan Civil War as well. But now to kind of show you a different side of this little coastal city. Despite all the difficulties that the communities here have gone through, especially in recent decades with the Sri Lankan Civil War, it's safe to say that Trincomalee is entering a new phase of its history, a positive history, and one where tourism is actually helping. So less than 2 decades after the end of the Sri Lankan Civil War. And to be honest, this place is starting to feel a little bit like an early version of Bali. There's lots of little shops along this little street leading to our hotel. We've seen diving and whale watching tours advertised, trips to the marine parks around here, and it seems that a lot of people are involved in the tourism industry, working in hotels, working as tuk-tuk drivers, working as tour guides. There's lots of little villas around as well for your budget backpackers, as well as the more luxury hotels that people are staying in. And we're staying at one of the cinnamon resorts, which is like the higher end, because I'm here on a press trip with the British Guild of Travel Writers, and we're kind of showcasing Sri Lanka to the world. So they put us up in a really nice one, and I'll just show you a little taste of it to end this video, just to show you that kind of positive side of the redevelopment of Trincomalee from a Civil War ravaged coastal port to what is now becoming one of the most interesting places to visit in Sri Lanka. So this is the Amaranthé Bay. This is where we're being housed for the night. And I'll show you around. Hi again.
Hello. We found it.
We found it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Good.
Good directions.
All okay.
First time coming, Sri Lanka?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your, what's your country?
England. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
How
meet
many
you.
days stay?
Just one night.
Just one
Yeah,
night.
not long enough. Yeah.
We're on a big trip with a group trip.
My looking and 4 days from 5 days.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
really? Yeah,
Next
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
We
next
need
time,
longer.
And
definitely.
Yeah.
tomorrow you check out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Abhijani.
Nice to meet
And
you.
then next time, okay.
What's your name?
My name is Anjuta.
Anjita.
Anjita.
Nice to meet you,
I live in
Anjita.
Nilavali.
No.
Stay Sri Lanka, Nilavali side.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Nice
Brilliant.
to meet you.
Okay, so bye.
There you go, even the security guards are super friendly in this part of Sri Lanka. Prepared to be amazed by the quality of Sri Lankan hotels in Trincomalee. Of course, Claire's footsteps is also doing her hotel tour at the same time. But this is the real draw. Incredible. Yeah, not bad. And the hotel is situated on a little peninsula, so you've got a beach and a lagoon and jungle just at the end of the behind the swimming pool, basically. And then, oh guys, I can never normally afford this, so you have to thank the Sri Lankan Tourism Board for this. But there's even a jacuzzi in the room. Absolutely incredible. And then, wow. And so this is the hotel's private lagoon / river area, and this river leads to the Indian Ocean. And so that's it from the Trincomalee video. Thank you for watching, and from here I'll be heading further north up into the Tamil Tiger territory. We're heading up to Jaffna, to the Jaffna Peninsula and to the city of Jaffna. But hopefully we'll learn a little bit more about the Tamil people, the community, perhaps what happened in the Civil War, and what it's like there today.